It's like I say, the hardcore training, the mentality of being able to utilize and just ignore everything, all the negative energy from people. If they don't have anything positive to say, just tell them to fuck off and do your thing. Because I don't care if somebody's goal is different, but you know, just be you and do what you want to do. Don't worry about what other people think, because it's not what they want to do, it's what you want to do. Hi, my name is Ed Brown Jr. You might have heard of me years ago as a youngin' in the wrestling business as Bone Crusher when I ran around acting like a maniac convict, breaking arms and legs. I figured I've still got some calories in me. I'm 260 something pounds right now, low 260s. Everybody thinks I have like a 45-pound plate, I guess, when I weigh in my warm-ups. But I just did the Pig Iron Classic at the Ronnie and did a 523 pause legit, where you have to pause it on your chest, not a touch and go gym lift. So just figured I still have calories, I might as well give you something different. 2 to 3. I think he said 2.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Okay, I got it.
Yep. Come on. Yeah, come on.
That was heavy. 1 to 2 work sets on some body parts like today. Incline hammer strength after this when we do some deadlifts and some rows and stuff. But you pick more of a moderate weight. You go straight for 40 seconds. It's not a time tempo. You have like all these time under bullshit where it's like 4-2 tempo, 2-2. It's not like that. He times it with a watch. You just want slow, controlled visualization. It makes sense being a bodybuilder because you're etching that muscle out and working it from the inside and out. So you want to see it while you're working it. So sometimes it's good to bump the weight and not always show off for the camera, I guess, even though it is fun to train heavy. But let's see how this feels. My Uncle Chris noticed I was a skinnier kid growing up, and I had certain learning curves as a kid. I guess it was more auditory processing. So my parents put me in like a private school, and I could accelerate because the classes were smaller. I could learn better. My Uncle Chris, though, was like, you need to let him play team sports. They wanted me to, you know, pick up the books, make better grades first. So what he did is he saw how his sons, my cousins, would get to play baseball and stuff. I didn't really know how to play any sports yet. He got me my first weight set when I was 12. I started picking up the weights and started my own routines. And then I started picking up Flex magazine. And my parents were like, holy cow, my son doesn't have the IQ of a salad bar. He can actually read. And then to get, you know, wake me up in the mornings, you had the world's strongest men. So I had Bill Kazmaier on there lifting all these, you know, big poundages. And I see all these superheroes. I'm like, I want to look like them. And another thing my dad used to always put on was the Flex magazine workout. So I'd see Sean Ray, and later on getting to train with Lee Priest. I even was getting more into the weights. We had a thing in the football team called the overall strength intensity. They take your deadlift, your squat, and your bench, and they add it up and divide it by your body weight. I had the highest score, and I could actually outlift all the linemen. And I went to a bigger school too, so you had some of the offensive linemen that were 260 pounds. I was lifting more poundages than they were at 180. So I was like, wow, I'm actually pretty good at this, and just kept at it. And then of course the main reason in the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy they used me out of some of the few students was Daniel Bryan. You see him big time now, Brian Kendrick. Garrison Cades passed away, but he was another one of the talented students. Matt Bentley went to TNA. They all had wrestling backgrounds. I didn't have that, but I had the foundation of the weights. I didn't have the nutrition yet, so I didn't have quite the ripped look, but I always had the muscular look. I was one of the stronger kids in the school, so that's one of the main reasons they used me. So the foundation of the weight room always transferred over to the bodybuilding, to the powerlifting, to the wrestling, to personal training.
The Lord tells me to get me out of this mess. He's pretty sure you're fucked.
school Arnold Appreciation Day. I know he just got out of the hospital with his heart surgery. Another guy that inspired me to pick up the weights when I was a kid. Another guy that proved everybody wrong, saying his name was too long, his accent. He told everybody to fuck off and accomplish everything he wanted to, Arnold. So we did chest back. We started with a different type of volume. It started more powerlifting. I just had the meet 10 days ago, so I had some cushioning around the joint, so I wanted to play around with some heavier weights for fun to give the camera a show. Then we went to another multi-joint exercise, compound movement, the deadlift. The reason I like to always start with a deadlift is it reminds me to stay explosive, and it helps warm up the nervous system. And like I say, even if it's 595, some people, the trap bar is harder than a regular deadlift bar. But when I do that, it kind of really helps the mind-muscle connection, and I can switch up the tempos. Because if you notice, that was explosive. We did the 5-3-1, the volume, which is more powerlifter volume, but you stick with the same weight. So it's power building. Then we switch back over to a machine after doing 2 free weight movements. Josh on the program had incline dumbbells. Some of the 150s we have are a little clanky. They need to be rebolted. So we did the incline hammer strength. Started with 4 plates, did some reps, 40 seconds continuous. Once I started gassing, I just did half reps, kept going for 40 seconds, pumping blood in that muscle. Then we went to 3 plates aside, 315, did 2 work sets. After that, we went to the prison T-bar rows. If you notice, we did kind of a different, I've gotten crazy on those and gone up to 10, 11 plates and come up high with it. I tried to stay low. I think one set was more to the chest, the other to the sternum, but stay real low and hits different parts of your back. So we started with 225, then 270, 40 seconds nonstop. Let it touch, continuous tension, squeezing, working the muscle from the inside and out, the mind-muscle connection. After the T-bar rows, we went over to the dip press, if I'm correct. Instead of the body weight dips, it was taken. Get you a good visual, just squeezing, 3 work sets, and we went up to something like 400 pounds added to the machine from 325, did 3 work sets. Then we went over to the pull down. We gave you more like a wide neutral grip with these different handles we have. Started with a little bit under the body weight. I think it was like 220, 230. Did 40 seconds. Then did another set with a little less, 200 or something like that. Then went down to 170, I think he had, 40 seconds. Same thing, slow, controlled tension, squeezing, feeling the muscle work. What that also does is whenever you have to get back to the posing and you hit those certain poses, you have to feel everything in sync with the muscle. So sometimes it's not always about moving the heaviest weight in the gym, it's also feeling what you're working, which is why I have to retrain the mind from the powerlifting, point A to point B, to the bodybuilding. Okay, then after that, we went to the decline dumbbell flies. 40 seconds nonstop, scooping the weight from underneath. We're supposed to do the decline cables. Same thing, it was taken. So we moved over to the free weight. Started with 40s nonstop, 40 seconds. Then we went 50s nonstop, 40 seconds. Then 60s nonstop, 40 seconds. Timed. Pump really is what you can really get a good foundation out of. I wouldn't recommend doing it every week if you're gonna do that many big movements together, like I did with the heavier bench pressing, going almost 500, 495, whatever, same thing. And like I say, you do that with the deadlifting, doing 600 pounds, because that's, you know, like I say with the trap bar, I think I've done 685 for a couple reps before, so it's like, you're still lifting a pretty heavy amount of weight there. So you almost want to pick your battles. I would not recommend doing back and chest together every week. Maybe try it every 6 weeks. And then like I say, with the deloading, way I'm coached through Bryant, every 4 or 5 weeks, you let your nervous system calm down, you go through the motion, use a lot less weight, decrease the volume to 50%, you do more 5 reps on everything. Less volume, less reps, let the nervous system revamp, go down, then you start climbing again. That's how you get stronger, that's how you program. Powerlifting, bodybuilding, it all kind of works the same. Even though bodybuilders aren't training to 1 rep max, they're still trying to get stronger through reps and sets. So that's the way. I'm really excited about training this way too, even during prep. Because when I got to talk to Johnny Jackson at the seminar, he said he didn't deload when he did for prep. I'm thinking like, why would you not? If you have every 4 to 5 weeks to let your nervous system calm down, on that 4 to 5 weeks, what could you work extra on being a bodybuilder if you're not spending as much time in the weight room? Yeah, you're always going to do your cardio. You're always going to be on your diet, but what is the main thing that those judges are looking at you? What are you getting judged on? You're posing. So that gives you more time to work on that.